Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West.
They're one West. All right. Let's clap it up. Shalom Israel, where the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge started out in 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. We've been bringing this truth since 1969, and what is that truth? That truth is that the so-called blacks, the so-called Hispanics, the so-called natives are the greatest people to ever walk the face of this earth, and the Bible identifies us as the true biblical Jews of the Bible. With that, I'm Officer Matham. Tonight is history. We're going to go into a little bit of history. We're going to talk about mass incarceration and how mass incarceration and the drug trade all are together. You understand? A lot of times, and I think we talked about it earlier in the radio show, how oppressive does not do things to get results immediately in a week or a day or something like that. Most of the time, our oppressor does things to get results in the long term, to destroy us far down the line. Our oppressor really spans out by decades. You understand what I'm saying? And the mass incarceration that we're going to talk about spanned decades, takes decades. And mass incarceration started with our school systems. You understand? And this is the reason why they use that term from the school to the prison pipeline. You understand what I'm saying? And these are the things, these are the vices that they use. And we talked about it earlier. They take a lot of the skilled subjects. Everybody knows that everybody's not going to college. So they took a lot of those skill programs that they had in schools in the 70s and the 80s and phased them out. So by the year 2000, you had very little schools. Like in the 70s and to the 80s, every school in Baltimore City had a skill program. You understand? You could take up auto shop. You could take up machining. You could take up wood shop. You could take up printing and things like that. A lot of the sisters took up the home ec courses, learning to sew, needle and thread, and different things like that. They taught us how to fill out checkbooks and things like that, how to sign, how you fill out applications and things like that. These are different things that they had for us. Well, by the time that the 90s came, they began to phase all of that stuff out. And a lot of things that we did in the 70s and the 80s were gone by the early 2000s. So now, because those things were gone by the early 2000s, when you look at 2025, look at the product that's coming out of our schools today. Another thing that they used also in the schools was the No Child Left Behind, which was a horrible program which destroyed a lot of us. So if you had kids in school that were not on the same learning level, they used to move them to the side and take them and spend extra time with them to bring them up to par. But now what they started doing was they started flowing through and pulling everybody along. So even if you didn't catch on, they pulled you along anyway. So by the time you hit that next year, you were really way behind. And by the time graduation time came, you knew nothing. And that's how they destroyed us. You understand? With the school system. You understand? But I want to go into this mass incarceration. You understand? And with mass incarceration, where did I have that at? With the mass incarceration comes because we were not given the tools to adapt by the time we left high school. And by the time we left high school, we had no trade skills at all. coming out, think about this, coming out of slavery, so-called slavery, coming out of so-called slavery, being so-called emancipated, most slaves had a skill. They were either plumbers, carpenters, bricklayers. You had everybody had a skill because we did all the labor back then. You understand? And this was the reason why the labor unions was created. The first labor union, the first major labor union was created in 1871. It was created because in 1865, after the Civil War had destroyed most of America, America had to, or most of the America South had to be put back together. Well, the only skilled laborers were the slaves. All of the oppressors could not get work because the oppressors that were getting their stuff rebuilt figured they could pay a slave cheaper, you understand, and get a great job done. That was what we did. You understand? That was the only thing that we did. So they paid the slaves cheaper wages and got a better job done. And this is the reason why in 1871, what was that? 6 years after the emancipation, that's why they created the first labor unions. So sidebar, when you celebrate Labor Day, that's what you're celebrating, the destruction and the snatching away of the jobs from the blacks and Spanish. You understand? And with that, when you decimate the education system, when you take education away from people, people have nothing but the streets left, especially when they're living under the oppressor. You understand? And living under the oppressor, when you have nothing else to do, you go out and do what you can do to survive. Remember, they also had the black codes and everything else in the Jim Crow laws. So everything was a hazard to us. Anything you did could have you arrested and thrown back into legal slavery. You understand what I'm saying? So being on a corner with 3 or more people, being on a corner, that could get you locked up. Being on the corner and not having an ID, or if someone pulled you over, you didn't have an ID, that could get you locked up. Not having money in your pocket could also get you locked up. You understand? And that's how they refill their prison system. You understand? And mass incarceration is a big thing in the United States. The United States has the highest number of mass incarceration per capita on the globe. You understand what I'm saying? America has the greatest mass incarceration per capita.
902.
So I can
902.
902.
Your phone.
Yeah, 902. Okay. Yeah. America has the greatest number of mass incarceration. Now, in 1980 and back, there was no such thing as privatized prisons. Understand, listen to what I'm saying. There was no such thing as privatized prisons in 1980 and back. So I got a question for everybody, right? In 1980, Shalom, Lord Christ, what's going on with you, bro? All right. I'm glad you're here. I got a question, right?
Okay.
In 1980, who became president in 1980? Who became president in 1980? I know Cat knows.
Reagan.
There you go. Cat said it. Ronald Reagan became president in 1980. At this time, in 1980, Shalom, Lord Christ, sir. In 1980, there were no privatized prisons. No privatized prisons in 1980. In 1980, President Reagan beat out Jimmy Carter for the presidency, right? What year was the first privatized prison started?
All right, so we'll take a guess off of what I knew for a fact. I'm gonna say, I believe it was in the 90s, like early 90s. Wait, look it up.
You say you're gonna look it up?
Go,
So that's what we always say. If you don't know, you gotta look it up, right?
okay.
First privatized prisons in the United States. What year? Give you 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Somebody online. Tell me when the first privatized prison started. I know you got it now.
Man, I was just about to type in the chat next. Yeah.
He got it. What'd he say?
No, nobody got it.
Oh, okay.
Type it in.
Okay. First legalized privatized prison started in what year? If Ronald Reagan got elected, remember what was Ronald Reagan's motto? He had a war on drugs, right?
Okay.
What was Nancy Reagan say?
Say no to drugs.
Say no to drugs. You understand? So Nancy Reagan saying say no to drugs. Ronald Reagan saying we got a war on drugs. When was that first privatized prison started? 1984.
Yeah, April.
1984. 1984. First privatized prison started in 1984. Now, we got a couple of quick.
So I chat GPT,
Right.
and she said the first privatized prison in the United States was the Mariam Adjustment Center in Kentucky, which opened in 1986.
I got 1984. It says 1984, the first modern private prisons opens, marking the beginning of the industry in 1984. I got that right here. It says the modern private prison industry in the United States began in 1984 when the Corrections Corporation of America, known as the Core Civic, opened the first privately owned prison for immigrants in Houston, Texas, under a contract with the U.S. Immigration and Naturalization Service. What's the matter?
Oh, come on. That's right.
So in 1980, the concept of corporation building and running a prison for profit was not yet a reality in the U.S. penal system. The prison system was exclusively the domain of federal and state and local governments. But privatized prisons started in 1984. Think about this. It says 1980, 0 private prisons. 1984, the first modern private prisons opens, marking the beginning of the industry. That's off of, listen, you listening to me?
Come on.
That's off of DeepSeek. Chat GPT is the oppressor. DeepSeek is the Asians. They be on top of it. When it comes to America garbage, Asians with all that out there. Yeah,
I got all of them.
Yeah, America. Listen, Asians with all of that out there. But we knew that though. Privatized prisons didn't start until Ronald Reagan did. So at the same time, they started the mass incarceration. They also started the drugs, bringing the drugs in. Remember, Freeway Ricky Ross, right? Started with him. You understand? He started over there. What was that over in California, right? In South Central California, and then it spread. And I was talking earlier. I remember in the 70s when the most we seen in the 70s was the weed smoking. And you really didn't see that unless you was in somebody's house. You know how you see everybody walking around in cars and all that. That wasn't done in the 70s. That was something that you waited to do when you got in your house. Or if we went to like the beach or something and they was way out in the woods or something like that, that was you seen it then. You understand what I'm saying? But other than that, what we see, the thing that we see now and the weed that they smoking now is totally different. Not to say that it's good. You understand what I'm saying? But what they doing now, they really destroying brothers and sisters' brains now to the point where it's an addiction.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And you got brothers that got to wake up in the morning and do it. They can't function without doing it. They can't, you understand? They got to lay down and do it. The first thing in the morning, you understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, I could dig it. I could dig it. You know what I mean? So, when in reality, when you look at it, right?
Oh, no. So,
go ahead. What you great say?
Oh, no. I was want to make a comment. I didn't know if you thought I was saying.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I had a homeboy like that. Because I've been a smoker.
Right.
I started smoking probably like maybe a year before I got to the truth.
Right.
It was easy for me just to cut it out.
Right.
But I never would quit smoking. So anybody that came with me, and a lot of times I was the driver. I'm the one that had the car.
Right.
So everybody knew if they would ride with me,
right,
they couldn't smoke in my car.
Smoke. Right.
It was always irritating to them. So we had to all constant.
Right.
Always. Can we stop? Yo? Can we?
Right.
It's like it felt like it was like every 20 minutes. We went somewhere, they gotta get out and smoke. Like it was always a nuisance. Like it was always a thing. But like you said, it's that addiction. They got the addiction.
But think about this. Think about the cigarette addiction, right? The cigarette addiction is the same thing. You understand what I'm saying? So the marijuana is doing the same thing, but to me, it's on a scale a whole lot higher because of the chemicals that they putting in. Of course, cigarettes got chemicals in it, but I've never been a smoker, so you understand what I'm saying? So it looks like it's a whole different scale because they starting out a lot younger. And I know when I was young, it was certain young kids every so often that you would see, oh, you smoking? How old are you? You know, we would like that. But now when you see young kids now puffing, it's almost normal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because kids start out so young now and they destroyed, and America has destroyed us in that way. You understand? But getting back, mass incarceration and the drug epidemic go hand in hand. You understand what I'm saying? Because in order to make mass incarceration successful, you have to have a linchpin or a key to make that thing work. And the key to make that thing work is the drug epidemic.
Right.
So when you take mass incarceration but you start off with the crack epidemic, So once the crack epidemic got kicking, by the time 1985 came, 1984, the first privatized prisons started because they know it's about that time now that we need to start gearing up. You understand what I'm saying? Now, let me ask you a question, right? What was the average incarceration rate in 1980? You
mean like for the rate breaking down races to
just for let's just go with blacks. What's the and is anybody online? We got anybody online?
We did.
All right. Online, we want to know anybody online. Give us that mass incarceration rate in 1980. What was the incarceration rate in 1980?
We got that sign in.
Oh, You know what? That's what I meant to ask Kat to put the check in. Is it people checking in?
Live, but normally we got people all the time. We got people in the chat.
Okay, who we got in the chat? Who we got in the chat?
I ain't even saying
We got nobody in the chat.
We got the views.
We got the views, but we got the chat. Well, what's the incarceration rate in 1980? Incarceration rate in 1980 was 139 people per every 100,000 people. Right? So that's 100 out of 100,000 people, 139 people are incarcerated. So now check the 2025 incarceration rate in 2025.
For blacks.
Yep, for blacks.
Is it 2025?
Yep. Oh, we can't do 2025. Do 2024.
Come on.
Ooh. You see that?
So when we read it,
Yeah, go ahead.
so let's say black folks make up roughly 13% of the U.S. population, but account for about 37% of people held in prison or jail.
I believe it's higher than that.
Kind of. I believe so too, so. Oh no, it's just compared.
Check this out. The per capita is between 330 to 345 per 100,000 people. So it goes from 129 to 345.
Mm.
You understand? That's a little under double, almost double though, right? That's almost double down. That's a little more than double. That's more than double. Because 345, because 129, what I said before? I said 129?
Okay.
129, double that it would be 129, 260, right? So we had 345. So that's more than double.
Yes.
So by 2025 or 2024.
So yeah, something is. Oh, so let's say for lifetime risk, black men born in 2001 have about a 1 in 5 chance, 20% of imprisonment during their lifetime under current trends.
Right. Under current trends, under current conditions, under current laws. You understand? Under current racism. You understand? Now think about this, right? Now, we don't want to say that all of our people are justly incarcerated, because every year we always see somebody, you understand, doing 30 or 40 years and are unjustly incarcerated. Lives are destroyed. Police, this justice system destroys blacks and Hispanics. You understand? With illegal incarceration, illegal stop and frisk and everything else.
Right.
Anything that can be done, to the point where, you understand, they eventually frustrate you a lot of times, and then all of a sudden they get you on a charge of resisting arrest, because you know what's happening is being unjustly done. So you understand, the spirit in us is to fight back.
Right.
You understand? And the spirit in any man is to fight back. You understand what I'm saying? But privatized prisons are a thing of the future, unless we change the future. And if we change how do we change the future? How do we change the future?
Like first, getting into the school, coming into the UPK, and
There you go.
And keeping the Most High's laws.
Laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? Following the laws, statutes, and commandments. That's how we change our future. Following what the Most High said, doing what the Most High tells us to do. You understand? I want to grab bedrock scripture. Zephaniah 2:1. Bedrock scripture. We use this scripture damn near every class. You understand? Because it's a solid scripture and it tells us exactly, it gets straight to the point. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Go ahead, read that.
This is Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
It says, gather yourself together. Look, come together. That's basically what the scripture is saying. Come together. Gather yourself together. Come together. Go ahead.
Yea.
Yo. Say that again.
Yea.
Yo. Go ahead.
Gather together.
Man, come together. Go ahead.
O nation, not desire.
Hey, look, these people hate you. Basically, is what it's saying.
Okay.
Yo, it says, come together. Yo, come together. These people hate us. That's Zephaniah 2:1.
Okay.
It's a bedrock scripture, and a lot of times when we hear things, we don't understand. It doesn't click. It doesn't click until the wrong things happen. Look, gather yourself together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. The Most High is letting us know that these other nations hate us.
Right, sir.
Y'all gotta come together because we are all we got. We say that shit. We say that every day. We all we got. That was a saying last year. We all we got. We all we got. And a lot of times when you say it so much, a lot of people don't really catch the understanding of the saying.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? We are all we have. Gather yourself together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. We have to come together. We have to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, and we have to change our condition. What does the scripture tell us? The Most High tells us the kingdom of heaven. Christ said the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Right. Okay.
We have the power to change our own condition.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We have the power to make all of this go in reverse. We have the power to change and turn everything upside down. All we have to do is come back to the law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
It's as easy as ABC.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's that easy. But the problem is because we are so incorporated into America, into the spirit of America, and following and doing the things that America does, we can't follow the law, statutes, and commandments. We don't get the understanding. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
We can't put it together. And
right.
Because we can't put it together, that's the reason why the incarceration rate is so high. That's the reason why these drugs encapsulate us so much. You understand what I'm saying? Think about it. I heard a chick on the what's her name on the Facebook. It was a little clip, you know, and they pop the balloons and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
She trying to explain to the guy, well, that's all I do is smoke weed. I don't do nothing else. Like that's not an issue. That's not a problem.
Right.
Think about this, right? Would you go into a burning house and sniff in and breathe in all of that smoke that's in a burning house?
It's not.
But you would take that thing and breathe it in, right? What's the difference?
Right, right.
I mean, of course, one kills you faster, but the other one kills you slower, but it's killing you nonetheless. You understand what I'm saying? But it's been so normalized because of America that we get destroyed because of it. You understand? A lot of us can't get good jobs because we got a puff.
Yeah.
Urine can't stay clean. Your hair follicles can't stay clean enough to pass a drug test. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
Incarceration rate is connected with the drug trade. You understand what I'm saying? Both of those things not started by Ronald Reagan, but enhanced because drugs have always been here. Remember, in the 60s into the 70s
right.
is when they began to bring the heroin in from Vietnam.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And when the brothers went away to Vietnam, they was at Vietnam getting high, and then you had the pimps and the players at home selling drugs on the street, destroying the whole community. So brothers that left and went away to Vietnam, they left from beautiful communities. By the time they came back, the communities was destroyed. The woman that you loved, she was now a prostitute. Your baby was a hand-me-down baby. Everybody holding the baby while she going to work. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, I got it.
Nice.
Damn, I'm fast. Damn, I'm fast. You understand what I'm saying? Gather yourself together. Oh, nation, not desires. You understand? We have to understand that only we desire us. Right? So we have to look out for we. You understand what I'm saying? Let's grab another scripture. I want to grab Psalms 83. You understand? And while you grabbing that, right? Think about this, right? In 1980, how many prisons, how many state prisons were there in mainland United States, not including Alaska and Hawaii? How many state prisons were in the United States in 1980? Give me a number. You can get on your phone and check it out. Give me a number. Somebody give me a number. How many state prisons were in mainland United States in 1980? Oh, man, my knees.
Say your knees?
My knees. My knees. I had to stretch my legs out. In mainland United States, how many state prisons were there? That's not including Hawaii, not including Alaska.
You said in 1980?
Yeah, 1980. You got me a number? What's my number?
So I got, it says approximately 800.
Nah, not in 1980. Oh, you talking about total?
I put mainland.
State prison.
Well, I put, it said in 1980 there were approximately 800 adult correctional facilities
No.
in the mainland United
Check
States.
this out. That's all of them together. But in 1980, there were 592. 592 state prisons. Now think about this, right? If it's 592 state prisons, how many states do we have? 50. Because you counting that last time.
Good, man.
50, right?
Yeah, okay.
So how many, what does that make? How many state prisons is in an average in a state? Look at that. That's almost 7 prisons per state. Is that almost 7? I gotta look that number up. Hold up. I gotta make sure I gotta be right. Let's see. Hold up. Wait a minute. What I said the number was 592?
592.
Divided by 50. Oh, that's 11.84. Almost 12 prisons. That's on the average. Not to say that every state had 11 state prisons,
right? But
on average, because you have places like New York that got different boroughs and have, you understand, got multiple prisons in each borough. You understand what I'm saying? So when you look at it, that's 11, damn near 12 state prisons per state on average. That's a lot, right?
Yeah,
so let me ask you a question. In 2025, how many do we have? How many state prisons? State, and a lot of times you have to specify. In mainland United States, that's not including Alaska, not including Hawaii.
Okay.
What you got?
So it says as of March 2025, there were 1,566 state prisons.
Dang, you got it right on the mark. Right on the mark. 1,506. Think about this, right? From 1980, from 592, you jump straight to 1,566. Now, what's the average on that? That average, 1,566 divided by 50, that's 31. 31. Let me ask you this, where are all these prisons at? Now, this is just state prisons.
Right.
This is not federal. This is just state. State prisons. That means they everywhere. So when you go to a place like Cumberland,
It's a lot.
who lives in Columbus? Who lives in Cumberland?
White folks. Yeah.
Oppressors, right?
Yeah.
The country oppressors.
Yeah.
And they run in those prisons. Remember how I used to say, I remember my buddy used to come home, they'd be like, yeah, all them people up in Cumberland running the prisons, they all related. They got uncles and nephews and everybody. You understand what I'm saying? These places that we do not go, that's where they send you. And they send you there to be abused. I was talking earlier, they got that thing against Charles Hickey now.
Right.
Where all these people got this big lawsuit against Charles Hickey. If he was assaulted or anything in Charles Hickey, you understand, you can get on that list right there. Well, these are the things that happen in these privatized prisons because they privatize prisons. But that prison program and that drug program, all of that stuff is related. So now when they take you from that school to prison pipeline, you don't have anything else. They know that those drugs that come in, it's a good chance you're going to be a part of that. 1 out of every 5. Going to pick that drug program, going to pick that drug market. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then one picks it up. The ones that are lower see them, and then they want to pick it up too. So when you pick it up, your children look and be like, hey, I could do it too. If he could do it, I could do it. Think about all of the promoting in the music that we listen to.
Yeah.
You understand? Now think about all of the kids that listen to that music coming up. And then what do they figure? Shoot, I'm going to get into that too because it's so glorified. You understand? And that was another thing that was another vice sidebar. That was another vice that they used. And you came in, and by the time the late 80s into the early 90s hit, when you came into the music and the rap game, you had to rap about drugs. You had to rap about a specific thing. And that was a whole culture to get you hooked, to make you go. And so they could get you in. Think about all of the rappers now that's getting locked up. Everybody getting locked up and going to prison. Everybody catching charges now. That's a new thing with rap. I remember coming up in the 80s, the early 80s, rappers didn't get locked up.
Right.
Rappers talked about how this pulled me off the street. This got me into a better place. They flipped the whole rap game. You understand? And I'm speaking about the oppressor.
Right.
The industry flipped the whole rap game. If this rap game could make people be so positive, we can flip it and make it be a negative thing. You understand what I'm saying? Give me Psalms 83 that you got.
This is Psalms chapter 83, verse 3. 3?
Yeah, start at 3.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Listen, that drug thing right there, think about this, right? To say no to drugs, that's crafty counsel.
Right.
You understand? That Nancy Reagan, say no to drugs. Ronald Reagan, we got a war on drugs. But then they turn around and bring in the drugs in. I think I said a couple of weeks ago, June 19th, 2019, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 43,000 pounds of cocaine came in at the port of Philadelphia. On the same day, 333 pounds came in at the port of Baltimore. On the same exact day. The greatest drug bust ever. But whenever one comes through, one gets picked up, three get through. That's just how they do it, because they have to make us believe that this war on drugs is working.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? The war on drugs, the fight on crime is working. And you create the conditions for crime. You create the conditions for drugs. Now we're gonna have to privatize these prisons, because these other prisons that we get ready, it's gonna be an overflux. So we gotta have somewhere to put them.
Right.
We create the condition right here to create an industry right here. So we bring the drugs in and make the privatized prisons to make the money. Think about this, right? 57,000. And I remember I did the class a few years ago, and I know they said it was $81,000 per inmate per year. $81,000 a year to house an inmate. That's a lot of dough. Now, with the private prisons coming along now, it went down. I believe it went down to 57,000, but now those privatized prisons are being overrun, right? It says they have taken crafty counsel against thy people. That privatized prisons, setting up those privatized prisons is crafty counsel,
Right? Because
you have to do so many things to get those prison houses filled up. And a lot of those prison houses, they are contracted to be 80 to 85% full at all times. So when you get somebody incarcerated for nothing and they do 40 years, that's a part of that, right? Think about the judge that got busted maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, for incarcerating all of those juveniles, incarcerating them for menial charges. I believe he committed suicide. But for years, he was taking kickbacks to incarcerate and send kids to juvenile homes. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. All of this is crafty counsel. Anything that America does and laws that they create have always been to help their people, but to go against us,
right,
no matter what. Laws are only held in our contempt. Think about the dude, you see the dude, the white guy beat up the 3 police and jogged off? They show it all the time on TV, right? Or not TV, but if you're looking at Facebook, they always show him beating up. It was a woman and 2 dudes. Bop, bop, he knocked her. He hit me. You understand? Like, imagine us hitting a white police like that. You understand? They would have already pulled their gun out. And all 3 of them got guns. None of them figured to pull that gun out. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
They have taken crafty counsel against us. They create things to put us in certain conditions. They bring the drugs in. They take all of the skilled things, the skilled, what they call it. You know, you're not going to college, right? So you take up a trade. They took all of the trades out of the schools. They're creating a condition. You take the trades out of the school, then you have the program, No Student Left Behind. What does No Student Left Behind do to children who can't catch on as fast? Every time you move them ahead of grade, they get more and more behind. So by the time graduation comes, although they graduate, they have nothing, no skills that they can use outside of that school. You understand?
Right.
So what do they fall into? They fall into something negative all the time. You understand? Or they homeless. And that's the conditions that you create. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. Go ahead.
Okay. And consulted against thy hidden one.
Who are the hidden ones? We are those hidden ones. You understand?
Okay.
They have consulted against the hidden ones. They have talked behind closed doors about us and the things that they can do with us. You understand? To put us in the positions that we're in today. They have consulted against our hidden ones. Go ahead.
Verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Hey, listen, they said, come let us cut them off from being a nation. They have cut us off from understanding who we truly are. They make us believe that we are American. They make us believe that we are in one big melting pot. They make us believe that they truly love us. So much so that, like I told you, 1992 Dream Team, we are the greatest. You understand? They put that spirit in us with things like that. That's crafty counsel. How can we bring Black people along? How can we continually destroy them, but make them believe in America? How can we do that? Dream teams. Look at what they did. We are the greatest. America's number one. We are number one. I was one chanting that.
Me too, man. Go good.
You understand what I'm saying? Not understanding that they were molding us with that spirit. They put that makeup on our face, and we believing in that red, white, blue, starting to sink in. See, the heart starting to sink into the heart, the mind.
Right.
You understand? We believe America is the greatest. It's the greatest country that ever. You understand what I'm saying? America is a terrible country. America is a country of lies. You understand? America is a country of terrorists. You understand? They have taken crafty counsel against our people. They have consulted against our hidden ones. Go ahead.
And what I was going to say is like, most of that crafty counsel is also within how we so oppressed, like how we so like in poverty. That I was watching on Netflix. They got a documentary about the Katrina. Yeah.
Oh, I seen it.
Yeah,
I seen it.
So you say like, so it was brothers on there speaking about how they wasn't watching. They was so busy working.
Right.
They wasn't watching the news.
Right.
Like, it's like you got, and that's how like it is, like, because we so caught up in work. I think about like even with my parents, like they was too big. That's why I was able to get away with and do so much crime and things I was doing behind their back, because it's like they caught up in trying to survive. Well, anybody got time to look at the news?
Well, think about it now, right? Think about it now. If it wasn't for the UPK, we grind like that right now.
Yeah.
So we peel that time away to come back down to reality.
Go.
Think about it, right? I worked 7 days. But I know at some point in that day, I got to look and I got to read and I got to get some understanding to bring me back down to reality. Because a lot of times they catch us just like that. And the only thing we thinking about is paying bills, getting this taken care of. And we lose sight of all reality.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, Hurricane Katrina be right on smack on top of you. And next thing you know, we losing everything, including our lives. Think about all the lives that was lost. Think about how they put everything back down there except for the Ninth Ward. Right. So them people still suffering 20 years later from Hurricane Katrina. But the oppressor not. Everything he got is taken care of. And we destroyed because we separate. 20 years of Hurricane Katrina, people still destroyed from that.
Right.
Think about this, and I don't want to get too far off, right? But we still got Black farmers that ain't got that $500 million owned to Black farmers, but all the oppressor farmers, they got their money. You understand what I'm saying? They have taken crafty counsel against our people. And this is the things that they do. And this is the reason why we need to build our own. I had an article earlier talking about the all-white community in Arkansas. Right? You got Black people up in arms about that. Why would you be up in arms about that? They could start all-white community. Let's start an all-Black.
Damn right. So.
Let's purchase 160 acres like they did. And let's build on that. You understand what I'm saying? And but see, that's how destroyed we are. And integration has totally destroyed us as a people.
Right.
We believe, oh, that's wrong. That's wrong. We supposed to be together. No, we not. That's why God made borders. He separated the nations,
right.
Gave them their own lands. It's supposed to be separated. We the only people believe we supposed to be amongst everybody else. Asians don't do that. Ethiopians and Africans don't do that. The Arabs don't do that.
Right.
We the only people that believe that. The only reason why we amongst white people because they're using us.
Yeah.
That's it. Go ahead.
Like this. That's so heavy. It's like when you think about in the Old Testament, you know what I mean, the Most High was just names like, you know what I mean, the terrible power, and,
right.
You know what I mean, but Yahweh he made us understand that he's a father.
Right.
And so we look, you know what I mean, we need to look at him as a father. Like thinking about how life has been since we've been over here.
Yep.
Like you see all the things that the oppressor has tried to stop us from doing.
Right.
Like as far as sleeping with their women.
Yep.
You know what I mean? As far as being integrated with them. Well, it's always been our faith.
But think about it. That's why they created that community in Arkansas. And the thing about it is many more of those communities going to begin to pop up.
Yeah.
You understand? So if those communities begin to pop up, we need to start popping up with our own community.
Yeah, okay.
We need to help them out and separate ourselves from them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we need to separate ourselves from them. Think about this, right? In 1980, how many federal prisons were there in mainland United States in 1980? Anybody online can answer that too. See, we got somebody online. I'm blind. I need glasses.
Nah, you don't.
What that say?
It's a bunch.
Oh, that's Mr. Shore.
Yeah, no,
that's my brother Aisha Allen.
Nah. So that's just the you know what I mean, telling the chat in the chat.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what's going on with the chat today. Like we got the views for some reason.
Right. Nobody want to participate. Nobody want to talk to us.
Let me check.
Nobody want to talk to us today.
I'm gonna check it real quick.
It's cool though. It's cool. I got more friends. I got other friends. That's why I got friends that look just like y'all.
Okay. Yeah, it's up. It's not wrong with it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what's up.
But
they quiet today.
Check this out. In 1980, it was 29 federal prisons in mainland United States in 1980. Right?
Oh, good.
In 2025, how many federal prisons were there?
Federal?
Yep. In 2025, how many federal prisons are there in mainland United States? Now remember, it was 29 in 1980.
Okay.
They say you caught with the feds, you with the feds now.
Okay. So I got 122.
Oh, wow. You hit that on the money. You hit that on the mark. 122, right? That's damn near 4 times, right? That's almost 4 times. Because 30 would be 34 times would be 120, right? So that's 4 times.
34 times.
No, I was saying 30, like into 122.
Oh, okay.
So 30 goes 4 times. So that's 120. So that's a 4 times jump. I just rounded the 29 to 30.
Okay.
Yeah, I just rounded to 29 to 30. But that's a 4 times jump. So it quadrupled in 2025 from 1980. That's a federal prison. Now remember, everybody doesn't go to federal prison, but if they filling up the federal prisons,
Okay.
you know what I mean? And the federal prisons are a little more expensive. So You got 122. Now, how many private prisons were there in 1980?
It was,
We talked about that earlier.
I think he had different numbers.
Zero. Zero.
We said federal prison.
Yeah. No. I said private prison.
Yeah.
Remember, we talked about private prison. Private prisons didn't start till 1984. So in 1980, it was none. But in 2025, how many are there? In mainland, we ain't including Alaska and Hawaii because we ain't there. We ain't gonna be there long enough to experience them. You know what I mean? One day somebody gonna talk to us.
Ain't got no love for Dr. Dre.
Nobody got no love for Dr. Snoop. Ain't nobody got no love for Alizar and Thumb. Hey, listen, it says they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembered. And that's what we was talking about earlier, right? That the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. We get so destroyed by these other nations that we become them. We take on their personalities. We take on their identity.
Right.
We believe that we are Americans. You understand? We believe that we are Baltimoreans. Right. We believe that we are Philadelphians. Right. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how destroyed we are. That's so much so that we don't even know who we are anymore. You understand? It says, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. It says they have consulted together with one consent. Listen, they come together to make all of their, listen, that's what the United Nations is for. All of these, listen, these private prisons and things like that, these have been talked about in the United Nations. These drug trafficking, things like this, these things have been talked about in the United Nations. That's why what was Putin's prime minister talked about how America is nothing but a drug nation. We go into all of these other nations. We sponsor these drug cartels. The United States sponsors all of these drug cartels. Okay. All of these drug cartels all around, especially in North and South America. Oh, excuse me, I said South and Central America. You understand? Are sponsored by the United States. These are in the United States, in Afghanistan, in Portugal. All of these places like that are sponsored by the United States. And they let them traffic that stuff in. And then on top of it, like I said, they make a single drug bust, and it's the greatest thing in the world. They highlight it, they market it on TV because that's all it is marketing. They make you believe that customs are doing their job. But if you look at all of those high-class drug busts, they can even tell you where the drugs were headed to, but nobody gets arrested. Why? Because it's the United States doing. Right. This is what the United States does. You ever sit back and you think about it, we never ask, well, who got arrested for it? You don't see who gets arrested for it till they arresting somebody in your neighborhood. Right. You understand? But how did they get from Afghanistan to my neighborhood? Nobody got arrested from there to there. You understand what I'm saying? They have consulted together with one consent. That's right. They are confederate against thee. I say this almost every week. What does confederate mean? What does confederate mean? Confederate means to do something illegal or illicit against a person or people. They are confederate against us. They do illegal and illicit things against us as a people. This is what America does. We don't understand it because America makes and breaks its own laws and rules.
Right.
We have to stand by the rules, and then the rules that you break, you don't find them out until you've broken them.
Right.
America brings the drugs in, right? They sell you the drugs, then wait till you get out on the street, then arrest you for the drugs that just sold you. Think about it, right? They got all these smoke shops all around the city, everywhere. They arrest you for them very drugs that you just bought from the smoke house. They don't go in there and arrest the Arabs that's in there selling it to you, or the oppressor that's in there selling, because it's either the Arabs or the oppressors. Nobody else in there but the Arabs and the oppressors. Private prisons. 0 private prisons in 1980. By 2025, it was 296 private prisons.
Right.
296 private prisons, right? Think about this. They got 11 federal private prisons, 105 state private prisons. Then they got 150 immigration private prisons. And then 30 local jail private prisons. So listen, I'm looking at this immigration.
Right.
Immigration, 150 private prisons, immigration. They talk about they got immigration prisons for immigrants, anybody that they want to keep off the radar, to do all kinds of illegal searches and seizures and procedures that they do at these immigration facilities. So now we think about our brothers and sisters, the Hispanics, that they have in these private prisons. Think about this alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah.
What is that considered? A detention center? Detention centers are included in there. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Our oppressor is a devil. He is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand what I'm saying? I want to grab another scripture. Ecclesiastes 12:12.
Come on, cuz. Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 12. Set them not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
It says, listen, it says, set him not by thee. You understand? We can't bring the oppressor along with us. We can't be included with the oppressor.
Right.
You understand? We can't listen. You ever see that big three that Ice Cube got? The big three?
Okay.
You know he in that with an oppressor, right?
I didn't know.
Him and an oppressor started that. He started that with an oppressor, the big three. I wouldn't be surprised if that oppressor figured a way to weasel him out or buy him out. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, it says, set him not by thee, least when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Listen, they wait for the point to where they can overthrow you and take what you got and stand in your place. Listen, the NFL, remember we had our own league. Theirs was failing. So as they bring us in, we start coming to see theirs. Now our league is gone. They have overthrown us. Now they standing in our place.
Hey.
It's the same thing with the baseball and the basketball league. We had our own leagues. Theirs failing. So because theirs failed, we figure if we bring some of their best players, then they'll come see them. And the more that we bring over, the more they'll come see it. And then their league will fizzle out. And then we can make the rules as we see fit. Because their league will be fizzled out and they'll be coming to see us. And then we can make all the rules.
Right.
Listen, it says, set him not by the least when he have overthrown thee. He shall stand in our place.
Right.
This is what the oppressor's doing right now. The oppressor's standing in our place. Listen, the conditions that he have created causes our brothers and sisters. Well, listen, the only thing we think about is basketball and football. We going one or the other.
Right.
Anything what Biggie said in the song, you either sell a lot of rock or you got a wicked jump shot.
Good.
You understand what I'm saying? We either gonna sell his drugs or we gonna play his game. Either way, both games are his. Either way, we lose.
Damn. That's it.
You understand what I'm saying?
Good.
So look at what's going on with us now. You understand? Because we've given everything away, he has stood in our place. Think about it, right? Listen, it says, he stand up in thy place, neither let him sit at thy right hand. Don't let him sit next to you. Don't give him a place next to you.
Right.
Don't listen. It says, it tells us, and the Bible tells us not to make marriages with them. Listen, when you signing contracts and when you signing papers with them, that's making a marriage with them. A contract is a marriage. You understand? When you signing a contract, you making a marriage with him. You shaking hands. This is the person that always unalives his lover, always unalives his partner. You understand what I'm saying? Think about what's the guy that remember the black guy that owned World Star? They was trying to buy World Star for him from a long time, and all of a sudden he up and passed away, and now the oppressor got World Star. They was trying to buy it for him. He wouldn't sell it to him.
Right.
And all of a sudden, he mysteriously up and had a heart attack. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, it says right there, right? It says, neither let him sit at thy right hand. Remember how we used to always say, that's my right hand man?
Good.
So let him sit at your right hand. You understand? Because he takes all, remember the right hand is your power hand.
Right.
Takes all your power away. You make him your right hand, he's your power. Eventually he'll overthrow thee. You understand? And that's what he's looking for the whole time. He's looking for a way to overthrow us. So he creates the condition. He makes the privatized prisons. He brings the drugs in. And then he creates the perfect storm. Remember how he was talking about Hurricane Katrina? We just talked about that. Hurricane Katrina, you had two storms that came together and made the perfect storm.
Right.
And then they blew up the levees. You understand what I'm saying? The perfect storm or the perfect situation to destroy your people. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, listen, we should know our oppressor by now. You understand? But we've been so brainwashed that every time our oppressor tells us something, we believe it. We believe in it. Privatized prisons, right? 0 in 1980 up to 296 privatized prisons. 296. We destroyed as a people to believe that these people love us.
Hey.
Go ahead.
Damn, like this. It's just like the scripture. You know what I mean? That day whenever, like, the man of sin must be revealed.
Man, you gonna make me do it. Man, give me 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 2. Give me Second Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 2. Give it to me. You know that's my favorite, man.
2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 2. And that we may be.
Slack.
Oh man, Slack.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. My bad.
Dang, it's like 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means.
See, listen. That's one of our major problems right there. The scriptures say, let no man deceive you by any means. And think about it, right? We always go back to the American natives, right? I mean, Slavic.
Yeah, right.
The natives, right? We always go back to the natives, and we always say, what Psalm 55 say, he has put forth his hands as such that be at peace with him. The natives were at peace with the oppressor, helped the oppressor get through that first winter, taught them how to till the soil, how to grow food, how to survive throughout the winter. And then the oppressor turns around and unalives.
Right.
You understand? He has put forth his hand as such that be at peace with them. You understand? We can't relax with the oppressor. We can't relax around the oppressor. As we see, we read a couple of articles earlier talking about the oppressor unaliving his own.
Yeah.
You understand? He did one of the oppressors did the first float by in history. He drove by in that boat and pulled up on them people and shot them people over in Michigan.
Right.
Oh no, Michigan was the church.
Yeah.
He did the other one. The other one was in the Carolinas, South Carolina. Yeah.
On the boat.
He pulled up at a boat, caught the people up in a bar. You know, the bars that sit right on the water. He pulled up in a boat, unalive. Back. You understand? He was a vet, a Purple Heart vet.
Oh, that's right. Come on. Yeah, come on.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Come on.
See, we get too comfortable around the oppressor. But the oppressor left to their own devices will unalive themselves.
Right.
This is the reason why we should allow them to have their all-white communities. We should allow them to live amongst the people who believe in what they believe. If we allow them to live amongst each other and live with the people that believe in what they believe, they're going to eventually unalive and wipe their own people out. That's what we need to do. You want to sit down on top of this, try to get a better view.
Right. It ain't working.
You see that? Oh, you had to tip the camera down to that. Let me see. Hold up. Can we all see that? You see that? That's the Ark of the Covenant right there. We probably had to. We had to probably. Oh no, we can't do that. No, we can't do that. No, we can't do that. I don't think you want to put that in there. But we got to fix the camera though.
Okay.
We got to tip the camera down, and it should be down a little lower and then a little closer. But we'll do that afterwards though. But yeah, you understand? Where was we at?
So
I got so much stuff.
we still in 2 Thessalonians.
Yeah, go ahead. It says, let no man deceive you by any means. Go ahead.
For that day shall not come.
What day is he talking about? What day we talking about? That day when Christ returned to destroy our enemies.
Oh, okay.
But it's a reason why Christ is returning on that day, right? Go ahead, finish reading.
Come. Except there come a falling away first.
That's the reason why Christ is returning, because there has to be a falling away first. A falling away from what? A falling away from the lies,
right?
The untruths. People have to begin to wake up to understand what lies and untruths are that the oppressor's telling us. You understand? Falling away from all of the lies that you understand. We are one big happy family, that we are, what's that, one big melting pot.
Right.
You understand that America's the greatest nation to be in, the land of the free, the home of the brave. Right. All of that is a lie. All of that is a lie. Go ahead.
It's like even the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
It said, give us your
you're sick and you're weary and all that bull crap.
Right.
Yeah, you understand? We've been sick and weary for a long time, and she ain't never helped us, huh? That's when they talk about, hey, listen, that's just when they talk about justice is blind. Justice is definitely blind when it comes to, being fair with us.
Right.
Justice got that eye looking when it comes to them.
Right.
You understand? But justice is definitely blind when it comes to us. And I think she can hear we niggas in our voice.
Yeah.
You understand? I believe it. She can hear we niggas in our voice. Because
Yeah.
we don't never get the right end of the stick. You understand?
Yeah.
Go ahead. And it said, listen, he said except there come a falling away first. Like I said, we have to fall away from the lies and the untruths of America.
Right.
We have to fall away from the LGBTQ, the customs and cultures of America. We have to fall away from the things that America say is good that we know are not good.
Oh, God.
Go ahead.
And that man of sin be revealed.
And the man of sin be revealed. Who's that man of sin? The man who tells all the lies.
Right.
The man that deceives nations.
Right.
The man that makes nations to tremble.
God,
You understand? Dropping bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Oh,
You understand? That goes in and unalives 1 million Afghans, 1 million Iraqis. You understand?
Right.
A man that goes into the Everglades and destroys animals. You understand?
Yeah.
A man that blows up rocks everywhere. You understand? Even the rocks speak out. Go ahead.
A man that bombs his own land,
Yeah.
just to take out black flourishing.
Yeah. A man that, exactly. A man that bombs, that drops bombs on his own land. You understand? But it's gonna be a time where the Most High is gonna drop bombs on this place. You understand? Destroy this place. You understand? With other fire.
Okay.
You understand? Go ahead.
The son of perdition.
The son of perdition. What is that son of perdition? The son of destruction.
God,
we talked about that earlier. The one who destroys and causes countries to shake.
Okay.
You understand? To tremble. You understand? Hey, give me one more scripture. This is my last scripture right here, right?
Okay.
Give me Micah 2:1.
Okay. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
Hear that? Woe, destruction unto them that devise iniquity, devise evil, and work evil upon their beds. Listen, these people go to sleep at night dreaming of ways to destroy us. Dreaming of it. Listen, privatized prisons wasn't something that somebody woke up and had a good idea.
Right. Go good.
This is something that was in their heads, that they was contemplating for time and time and time and time. So much so that they fell asleep dreaming about this. How can we take them down? Listen, that crack epidemic wasn't something that just started overnight.
Right.
This is something that they devised on their beds. You understand? This was something that was going along in their heads, a way that they could destroy us. Listen, creating Jim Crow laws was something that wasn't just devised overnight. You don't make laws that say, you understand, if they don't have an ID, we're going to lock them up. Think about it. That still happens today. Well, I have to detain you. You don't have an ID, I don't know who you are. I got to detain you. This is stuff that they do today. You understand? But they take the oppressor's word for it.
Right.
You understand? Listen, think about it, right? All of these laws that they create, just like I said, they create these laws for us. They don't create these laws for their own people. They only create these laws for us. You understand?
Okay.
Go ahead.
When the morning is light, they practice it.
And listen, once they get up and they get a full head of steam, they practice it. They think about it and think about it and think about it. And next thing you know, boom, they carrying it out. You understand? Like I said before, that crack epidemic, that started years before.
Right.
They knew that by the time the 2000s hit, this was going to pay off.
Okay.
You understand? It got rolling in the 90s. Started in the 80s, got rolling in the 90s, and paid off in the 2000s. Go ahead.
Okay. Because it is in the power of their hand.
Listen, it is in the power of their hand. Listen, we gave them that power. Being disobedient to the Most High, we gave them all of that power. We gave them rulership over the earth. The earth was created for our sake.
Right.
We the ones supposed to be running the earth right now.
Right.
But instead, we're being run. We should be running it, but we're being run. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 2. And they covet fields like.
And they covet
cuts like. And they covet fields.
Listen, they took all the, listen, think about this, right? They covered fields, right? Before the emancipation, every inch of land was already taken. They coveted everything. They take everything. They covered fields. It's no inch of land. Listen, we got to purchase land from them, and then we got to pay taxes on the land that we buy. Go ahead.
And take them by violence.
Listen, if they want that land that they sold you, they'll take it back by violence. We see that all the time. Remember those, I think it was in Montana, that those oppressors took those FBI agents hostage a couple of years back because they was trying to take their land. Yeah, you remember that? Yeah, this is what they do. And they'll take it by violence. Go ahead.
And houses.
And houses. We already know that. How many houses have we lost? Because of eminent domain.
Right. Okay.
You understand? These are the laws that they create so that they can give you something and take it back and not feel bad about it.
Right.
Not that they're gonna feel bad about it. You understand? Go ahead.
And take them away.
Go.
So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Listen, they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. What do we have to leave to our people? What do we have to leave to our heritage? Nothing.
Right. Okay.
You understand? We have nothing. And this drugs and this privatized prison, all of these things stack. These two things go together to create a whole system of irregularity.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
And this is the reason why, what's the scripture say? When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Okay.
But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. We're in mourning right now.
Right.
But the only way we'll be in righteousness and the people will rejoice is if we come back to the law, statutes, and commandments.
So okay.
Understand with that? With the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. Been bringing this truth since 1969. And what is that truth? That truth is so-called black, so-called Hispanics, and so-called natives are the greatest people that ever walked the face of this earth. And the Bible identifies us as the true biblical Jews of the Bible. With that, I'm going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer Alizah.
See what I got, right?
Huh? You told you.
What we did?
Yeah. Check that out.
Okay. So security announcements. We're at the PK out of 1 West, Harlem, New York. Under command of Junior High. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Means 10th in the Hebrew is pronounced ma'asher. 10% of every increase of any 10% of every increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher, preach fund. Free will offer for preach, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations this Sunday. As a matter of fact, tomorrow is the Day of Atonement. You understand? You got a fast from Tuesday sundown to Wednesday sundown. You understand? No drink, no food, nothing. You just afflicting your soul. You understand?
That's Leviticus.
That's in Leviticus,
23rd chapter.
the 23rd chapter,
27 through 32.
27 through 32. You understand? And that's tomorrow sundown. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you hydrate yourself. You know what I mean? If you got any medical issues, get with your camp leader and they'll set you right.
Then we got the Feast of Tabernacles.
And then we got the Feast of Tabernacle this Sunday. You understand? Is that the 5th, right? So that's the 5th, yeah, the 5th of October. That's this Sunday at school, 3430 Eastern Avenue. Come once again. We always do it big for our high holy day for the Most High. Come get you some drink, chill with the Akim and Aguafium. You understand? Make sure you check on social media, ISPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so forth for events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, they have to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headbands, and scarf. And with that, we'll get one courteous salute to the teacher, men of Israel, Amani Shabbat, Amani, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Rakaduk,
Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Rakaduk.
Yazzie Matai, class dismissed.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isubk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're